Hi, everybody. Hello, my honeybees. How's everybody doing today? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. For all you new people, welcome, 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 welcome into the room. Welcome to my channel. So glad that you're here. Please don't forget to click subscribe, share the video, and thank you all for stopping by and welcome all of my returning subscribers. Thank you, and welcome back. Today I wanted to talk about something. You know, it's a topic or whatever stuff that I've been thinking about lately or whatever, and so I was like, okay, you know what? I need to do a video about this or whatever and stuff. And so today I wanted to talk about, can men and women be just friends? Can men and women be just friends? Um, and just have a platonic relationship and not become emotionally involved. So that is what I wanted to talk about today. Some people might say, no, it's not possible. That, more than likely, um, one or the other is going to end up developing um, feelings for the other person or become, romantically, you know, um, or start looking at that person in a romantic way or want to develop a relationship with the person or whatever. So some people would say because of that, they might develop an attraction and that therefore know that men and women can't be just friends. I know a lot of people may say, especially men, that most of the time men when they're friends with a woman, then they'll start off pretending like, oh, they just want to be friends with her and that's just strictly it. But some people might say that the man always have a hidden agenda that he's hoping down the road whenever friendship develops or whatever, that one day he might have the opportunity to either start a relationship with her or sleep with her. I've heard a lot of people say that most times men have a hidden agenda when they're, pretending. They just be pretending, in other words, to just be friends with the woman, but ultimately their ultimate goal is either to sleep with her or to develop a relationship or enter into a relationship with her or whatever and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that it's only men, that might have the hidden agenda. Sometimes women might have that agenda too, that, she might start out being friends with the guy, but, she maybe never, confesses to him in the beginning that she really have an attraction toward him, but she just go ahead and be comfortable being friends with him, hoping that he would develop an attraction for her or whatever, and then they might can end up in a relationship. So that's what some people might say. There's always a hidden agenda that know that men and women cannot be just friends without ended up in a relationship or sleeping with one another and everything like that. So I'm just curious. So what do you all think about that? How do you all feel about that? Do you think that men and women can just be friends, um, and just have a platonic relationship or whatever? Or you feel like no, that is not possible? I just want to kind of share with you all my story, okay? You know, um, so that's basically, I can just kind of give you my story and share my story and my thoughts on it or whatever, and what my opinion is about it or whatever. First of all, I'll give you just kind of a little background about me, okay? So I have six brothers and I was raised with six brothers, right? And so, um, me being raised with six brothers, I was always used to being around, males, you know, guys and everything like that. So, when I was in junior high and high school, it's like my best friend was a guy, okay? So basically, throughout my life, I've always gotten along with men or whatever, and I've always found it easy to talk to men and to be friends with guys or whatever and everything. And maybe, like I said, it was because I was raised with six brothers or whatever, and I have six brothers. I don't really know. And so, and I think too, because also, I think some of my interests or whatever and everything like that are more geared toward what most men maybe like to do or are interested in or whatever and everything like that. And basically it goes back to basically from me hanging around my brothers and everything like that. Because I like riding horses, okay? And that's something, me being raised in the country and then having six brothers. So I like riding horses. I like riding motorcycles. I like riding the big three wheelers and everything like that. And I like going to the shooting range or whatever and stuff like that. So that's not like the normal thing that most women, like to do or whatever, but those are some of the main things that I like to do. And basically, I guess it's because, those are the things that I did, as a kid, as a girl, growing up and everything, and, being raised with all of those brothers or whatever, right? And so I feel like, me, having all these male friends throughout my life, it kind of spin off because um, I was raised with, all of those, brothers or whatever and everything like that. So, a few years ago, I was very, very good friends with a guy. I was so, so close to this guy. Actually, I would just have to say I was closer to this particular guy than I ever been to any of my brothers. We were so, so close. I mean, he was my best, best friend and everything like that. We went everywhere together. We hung out together, went everywhere together. He would come and stay in my apartment. It would spend the night. I would go and spend the night in his apartment and everything like that. And most people that knew us, so basically, they knew of our friendship and everything like that. And a lot of them would like often like joke and say, "Are you sure you guys are not secretly dating? Are you sure you guys haven't slept together? Are you sure you guys aren't doing this or doing that or whatever? Or y'all just friends or whatever? I think you all are lying or whatever. You just don't want people to know." But actually, in reality, no, we were just friends. We were just so close like that. I mean, we went to places together, went to parties together, went to church together or whatever and everything like that, you know. And so we were really, really, really just friends or whatever. And so I remember also there was been times to where, like, for instance, I've even like slept on the same bed with him and nothing happened. He never touched me. I never touched him or anything like that. Yes, I know some people might say, "Oh, that's impossible. That's a lie." No, it's actually true. You know, he never touched me. I never touched him. I never developed any romantic feelings toward him or desire to enter into a relationship with him or to take it further or anything. And he never did the same thing. Or even if he did, he never stressed it to me or whatever and stuff. But I don't feel like that was so because I know that he would date people or whatever and everything like that. And I've even, met some of the people that he dated and everything like that. So it wasn't like, um, he was just single all of the time, and I was just single all of the time. Actually, I actually was because I chose to be single or whatever. And that's one of the things I really liked about being so close to him and hanging out with him because when we would go out together, it kind of like, I wasn't interested in dating at that period of time or whatever. And so by me being with him, when we would go places or whatever, guys wouldn't approach me because they felt like we were a couple. And I was comfortable with that. I was okay with that because at that time I wasn't interested in dating. So I didn't want anyone to approach me.
I also remember too, there's been times too where, I even introduced my guy friend. I introduced him to, some ladies or whatever and everything like that because he was like for instance, there was a friend of mine, and so he told me that he liked her and he was interested in taking her out, and so I introduced them to one another. So and they went out or whatever. So it wasn't a situation to whereby you know um, he would get jealous. Let's say, for instance, if I wanted to date somebody, or I would get jealous if he wanted to date somebody. No, we were strictly just friends, and like I said, I wasn't dating at that time, but he was dating or whatever, and I met some of the people that he was dating at that time that he went out on dates with, or some that he was ended up in a relationship and dating for quite some time or whatever. And so, but later on, as time went on, I ended up, dating someone. I ended up dating someone, which eventually I ended up marrying that person. Now, I introduced that person that I was dating to my guy friend. They met and everything like that. And, and so the guy that I was dating, he was okay, with me and this guy being friends, when we were, you know, when I and this guy were just dating. But later on, after we eventually got married, it's like he now had a problem with me being friends with this guy. His words was is that um, what are people going to think? That no one is going to believe that you and this guy are just friends, and that you guys are just lying, or you guys haven't never slept together, or you guys are basically just friends, and y'all don't have anything going on, or y'all have never slept together. That nobody's going to believe that. What am I going to tell people? How are people going to look at that my wife is now best friends with a guy? So he was like, having issues with me being friends with the guy. And I felt like, okay, it was more of him being insecure. It wasn't that he was worried about what people was going to think. It was more of him being insecure, and he wasn't comfortable or whatever, and okay with his wife being so close and very good friends, with a guy, another man, right? So I ended up distancing myself from the friend or whatever and everything like that. I kind of told him what was going on, and he was like, well, he understood because he's a man or whatever, so he can understand kind of how he feels or whatever and everything. And so he basically, kind of stepped aside or whatever and everything. And so I remember it's like either him or I ended up changing our number first, and we kind of lost contact, and that's kind of how the friendship basically dissolved. And now I'm no longer married to that person. We're divorced and everything. And so it's like I've had time to like kind of reflect or whatever. And I feel like, I guess I kind of didn't handle the situation right, because I shouldn't have allowed the person that I was married to cause me to end a long-term friendship, especially when that friendship was strictly platonic or whatever and everything like that. Because my friend has been so there for me, and through so many different things or whatever, and it's a friendship that I regret losing. And I've actually been trying to search and look for him to find out, where he is and everything like that. I kind of feel like I owe him an apology of kind of how, you know, the friendship kind of dissolved and ended or whatever and everything. But I haven't been able to locate or find him or whatever. But yes. But now, it's like I've lived and I've learned. And I feel like if that situation would arise again, I would handle it totally different. Okay. Also, I wanted to just speak on another another story or whatever and everything like that. I was also friends before in the past with two guys. I met one first or whatever, and I became friends, and later on he introduced me to his very close friend, who's another guy. And so we all basically became friends. We became very close or whatever and everything. We would hang out together, go to different places together, and everything. And so it's like I became little sister, whatever, and they was like my big brothers. We did everything together, hung out together and everything like that. And so, but later on, the other guy, the second one, ended up confessing to me that he had basically developed, feelings toward me or whatever, and he wanted to see if I wanted to go on a date or whatever. He asked me out, and I told him, I said, no, I'm not interested in dating anyone. I value our friendship. I love you like a brother. I value, your friendship and everything like that. But I'm not interested in going on a date or dating anyone right now. And he said, okay, I respect that. He said, but when you are ready to start dating, would you give me the opportunity to take you on a date, or whatever? I would love to. He said, I don't want to just date you. He said, I want to marry you. Those was his words. That he did not want to date me or anything. He actually wanted to marry me. He said, because I feel like I already know you, so I don't need to date you or whatever. And I was like, that's interesting. And so, but I did not give him any false hope or anything like that. So I basically was like, well, I feel like how I so much value our friendship that if we try to date or become romantically involved and it doesn't work out, our friendship will come to an end. And I value our friendship and I don't want to lose you as a friend. And so that's how I kind of cut that off because I didn't want to give him false hope, right? And so, yeah, that's how I kind of, handle that situation. Um, you know, I feel like my own personal opinion about it is that I do feel like a man and woman can be just friends. I think you need to set boundaries and everything like that or whatever. And I feel like men and women can be just friends, just strictly platonic friends or whatever, without basically either one having a hidden agenda or basically end up sleeping together or dating one another or maybe end up getting married. I feel like just because you're the opposite sex or whatever doesn't mean that you can't be just friends. I feel like you can. There's nothing wrong with it or whatever. I know that it can kind of become complicated if one or the other is married or or both are married, because sometimes the spouses, they will kind of feel jealous somehow or suspicious, and they're not comfortable with their spouse being friends with the opposite sex. And so I know sometimes that can cause conflict or whatever, even when they might know the person and they might even be friends with the person, but just for the simple fact that their spouse is friend with an opposite sex, I know sometimes that sparks jealousy, suspicious or whatever and stuff like that. And so I know that you have to set boundaries or whatever. Like, let's say for instance now, a woman is friends with a guy, and let's say she's having problems with her husband. I don't feel like that woman should now go run into her guy friend and start bashing her husband, or telling the guy friend all the negative things about her husband. No, I don't feel like she should do that at all. But if it's a situation to where about by, let's say, her husband is beating her or whatever, then she might want to reach out to that male friend for more support, for advice or whatever, for help. That's a different situation. But let's say for instance, for her to go and start telling her guy friend everything that's going on in her marriage and the things that she doesn't like about her husband, no, you need to set boundaries. I don't feel like a woman should do that at all, and vice versa. I don't feel like a man should now go and start telling his female friend about his wife, all the negative things about his wife or whatever, and what's going on in his marriage. No, you need to draw the line. You need to set boundaries or whatever and everything. And so I don't feel like that's a good I don't feel like that's a good thing at all for you to start telling, you know, your opposite sex friend or whatever and stuff, things about, your spouse. I don't think that's a good idea at all. But I do feel like men and women, it is possible for men and women to be just friends and just have a platonic relationship and not get romantically involved or anything like that. Like I know a lot of people beg to differ or whatever with what I'm saying, right? Everyone has their own opinion and everyone is entitled to their own opinion. I'm just sharing my own experiences on this topic. Or whatever, and I have two different, situations and scenarios or whatever, to where, one of them was just strictly a friendship or whatever and everything, and nothing ever happened. No one became romantically, involved or anything like that. And then there's the other one on the flip side to where one of them did develop a guy friend that I was a friend that was a guy that I was friends with ended up developing, feelings toward me and wanted to date me or marry me or whatever and everything like that. So I think it just depends on the situation, the individuals or whatever and everything like that. It depends out on the outcome of the friendship or how it's gonna go or whatever. Um, and so, yeah, that's, I just wanted to speak on that topic today. You all let me know in the comments, how do you feel about it? Do you think that it's possible for a man and a woman to be just friends and not become romantically involved or have sex with one another? Do you think it's impossible? Do you think that it's impossible, or you do think it's possible or whatever and stuff? And let me know your opinions on that. So yeah. So this is my video for today, you guys. Let me know what you think about it or whatever. What's your opinion on the topic? And I think there's going to be a part two. I know there's going to be a part two or whatever to this that I wanted to go into more details about it, especially when you're married and basically, how to handle that. Being married and then being friends with the opposite sex or whatever. I wanted to speak on that a little bit further. So, like I said, I know that there's going to be a part two to this video, whatever. So, I know I'm kind of probably going to get a lot of probably negative comments, different opinions or whatever and stuff like that. And, I know because everybody is different, everybody's situation. Is definitely different. So yes. Okay, you guys. So that's my video for today. I thank you guys for stopping by. All of you returners, thank you so much. And all of you new people, thank you for stopping by. Please don't forget to click subscribe. I want to hear you all's comments, share the videos, and give me a like. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you all in my next video. Switches.